Good evening. We will call this meeting on Monday, April 13th, 2026 for Carver Heights, Montclair CRA Commission. Would you please stand for our invocation and our Pledge of Allegiance? Heavenly Father, we come before you today seeking your presence in a time when our nation and our world are facing uncertainty and conflict. We ask for your peace and to rest upon this country and your wisdom to guide those who lead. Father, in times like these, remind us of who we are, one nation under you. Help us to lead with kindness, to speak with respect, and to stand together, even when the world feels uncertain around us. Bless this commission, this community, and every resident we serve. Let our work today be rooted in purpose, guided by integrity, and reflective of your grace. All this we ask in your precious name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we get an approval, please, for?
I'll make a motion to approve the January 12th minutes.
Second.
Roll. Any questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeson?
Yes.
Commissioner Connor?
Yes.
Commissioner Alderman? Commissioner Connell?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Chairperson Berry?
Yes, excuse me. Would someone please introduce Resolution 3A?
I'll introduce Resolution 3A to be read by title only.
Resolution of the Carver Heights, Montclair Area Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Leesburg, Florida, authorizing the chairperson and secretary to execute a resolution approving fiscal year 2026 facade, sign, and landscape grant awards for the Carver Heights, Montclair Area CRA and providing an effective date.
Move for approval.
Second.
Discussion?
I do have one question. Once this is approved, the people that are getting this, do they keep up the signs? Say if their tenants leave, is that their responsibility to?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And I just need to mention, I will have to abstain on this one. I benefit from Kyle. I do the commercial leasing there.
Is there any more comments on it?
No.
Roll call.
Commissioner Reisman? Commissioner Connor? Commissioner Alderman?
Yes.
Commissioner Connell?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Abstain.
Chairperson Berry?
Yes. Are there any roll call from any commissioners?
I'll introduce 3B to be read by title only.
Yes, please.
Resolution of the Carver Heights, Montclair Area Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Leesburg, Florida, authorizing the chairperson and secretary to execute an intergovernmental agreement with Lake County, clarifying Community Redevelopment Agency TIF payments by the Ambulance and Emergency Medical Services, MSTU, and providing an effective date.
Move for approval.
Second.
And commission, any comments, questions in reference?
I do have a question. So this won't decrement the services that they receive right now for medical and all that. It'll still be the same.
No, so I'll just give you a little background. So that the answer to your question, Commissioner, is no, it does affect the funding, not by a great deal. What the county has requested is an agreement. Frankly, I don't even know if you really need an agreement, but they've asked for it. They have found, and I think probably this problem germinated with the Water Management District. I think the statutes is pretty clear on when the political subdivision is required to pay the TIF, the incremental finance, or the incremental revenue on a community redevelopment agency. And in this particular case, the county had a history of paying their general fund millage, their EMS, which is Emergency Management Services. They have an MSTU, a Special Taxing Service Unit, and they also used to pay a special district through the Water Management District. The Water Management District last year provided us a letter that said, we're not going to pay the increment anymore because they're a special district. I think technically that's the correct interpretation. That was actually only a couple of $1,000s impact because that millage for the water district was extremely small. The county now has continued to pay in their general fund as well as the MSTU for the EMS service. So their position is, hey, this is an MSTU, it's not eligible for the increment payment. We agree with that on a staff level. So that impacts the Carver Heights CRA about $32,000 this year, and we're estimating about $53,000 next year. The TIF, the entire CRA, it's about $1 million. So you're looking at about 50 grand out of $1 million short. Now, does that ultimately affect programming in the CRA? Yes. Is it detrimental? And no. Does the county have the right, in our opinion, to not have to pay that? Yes. So this agreement simply states back to the county that you're capitulating that this year and in future years, the county doesn't have to pay the increment for the MSTU for EMS.
Some better clarification from myself. I think I understand there's impact on the funding. What I was talking about, the services that we get from, the emergency services. That's what I was really.
Oh, yeah. No, I can't answer that question because I'm not in touch with the EMS budget, but my local answer for you would be this puts more money in the EMS pot.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we still get the same services,
I can't answer that because I'm just not in touch with that management, but this does put more money in the EMS fund.
I understand. Thank you.
And it is a countywide issue. This is not just Leesburg tax increment issues. It's countywide. The county doesn't want to pay the increment on the EMSTU for any redevelopment district.
Do you?
So to help Commissioner Alderman out, I'm going to guess it's going to be in the millions, at least $1 to $2 million.
May
I was thinking of all the municipalities.
I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know if the number's that big, but maybe it's in a million. I don't know how many districts there are throughout the county.
Okay, I was thinking every city.
So if there's 14 and every city's coughing up, about 50 grand, there's your.
Yeah, we're paying $275 between the three of them.
Between the three,
Yeah.
right? But right.
Do you think this is a way of prioritizing critical needs to determine what will be called for? I mean, a way of a start to say only.
If I'm in the county manager seat, I'm looking for revenue, so I don't have to increase your MSTU for the EMS. So I'm looking for all available revenue streams.
So we would definitely probably need to start looking at some type of other funding, grants and stuff to use.
For the CRA?
For CRA. Would that be an option? That would be more money to generate.
Yes. Perhaps on different projects we want to see grant money.
For projects, yeah. Any other comments? Okay, well, roll call.
Commissioner Connor? Yes. Commissioner Alderman?
Yes.
Commissioner Connell?
Yes.
Commissioner Bury?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Reisman?
Yes.
Chairperson Barry?
Yes. Roll call, Carrie Porter.
Commissioner Peterson?
Just another reminder, I think at the last meeting I just brought up, I'm not seeing any movement on the vacant lots. I just want to keep that front and center and get those moving. I know I've been like a broken record on that.
Commissioner Eastman?
Just want to thank Ms. Diane Yeckel for her hard work on the FSL grant. So that'll be it. Thank you.
Commissioner Connor?
Yes, I just had some concerns of the address 1011 Georgia Avenue. That house has been up for, I guess, to be destroyed because it is in a condition that needs to just be taken down. I see the notice sitting out there from code enforcement, so I just kind of want to know where we sitting with that. And my other thing is the retention ponds at Berry Park before summer come, if we can kind of get those cleaned up before the rainy season, because they'll refill up again. And they're kind of grassy, and I just don't want any unknown accidents in those ponds.
Commissioner Connor, what's the address on Georgia Avenue?
1011.
Just to respond to you back in that, on the retention ponds, we will be getting some attention to those retention ponds, and it's also, I think Cliff is finishing up an engineering plan to make some improvements in there, so we'll get that back to you and/or the commission, depending on how we go on funding that here shortly. And I will follow up with you on 1011 Georgia. I'll follow up with code enforcement, and I'll get a memo back out to the CRA tomorrow.
Commissioner Alderman?
Nothing at this time.
Commissioner Connell?
Nothing.
Commissioner Berry?
Nothing tonight.
Chairperson Berry?
Yes, I have one thing. Follow up with Commissioner Peterson. I've gotten calls in reference to the lots, but I've directed them to housing for further information. Hopefully, the nonprofit was a legitimate nonprofit. I didn't recognize the name or the person. So I'm hoping something will happen because we do have a process, but it's not being used. And secondly, I would like to ask for just a reminder that we are ready to roll out our next third phase of the home improvement. And I just want to make sure that we're in line and have completed everything with the second phase, that we don't have any homes still pending that needs things done before we start the third phase. If we could just follow through with that. If that's no further comments, make it a motion for adjourn, please.
Second.
Like to call to order our Monday meeting for Greater Leesburg CRA. We've done the invocation and the pledge. We have 3A that, well, we need to get approval of minutes, please. May I have a
I'll make a motion to
motion,
approve.
please?
Yep, I'll make a motion to approve the January 26th, 2026 meeting minutes.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Eastman?
Yes.
Commissioner Ponder?
Yes.
Commissioner Sokol?
Yes.
Commissioner Carnell?
Yes.
Commissioner Bury?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Chairperson Barry?
Yes. Would someone please introduce Resolution 4A?
I'll introduce 3A to be read by title.
Oh, 3A, excuse
You're
me.
good, love.
Resolution of the Greater Leesburg Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Leesburg, Florida, authorizing the chairperson and secretary to execute a resolution approving fiscal year 2026 facade, sign, and landscape grant awards and providing an effective date.
Move for approval.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments, please? None? Choose, okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Ponder?
Yes.
Commissioner Sokol?
Yes.
Commissioner Carnell?
Yes.
Commissioner Bury?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Eastman?
Yes.
Chairperson Barry?
Yes. Would someone please introduce Resolution 3B?
I'll introduce and ask to be read by title only.
Resolution of the Greater Leesburg Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Leesburg, Florida, authorizing the chairperson and secretary to execute an intergovernmental agreement with Lake County, clarifying Community Redevelopment Agency TIF payments by the Ambulance and Emergency Medical Services, MSTU, and providing an effective date.
Move for approval.
Second.
Are there any comments or questions?
I have a question. My question, I was listening to the prior meeting, and in discussion, I think they said in your office that they believe that they didn't have to pay us that. Have we talked with the city attorney to see if the attorney says these are funds that they are supposed to pay us, just for clarification before we do vote?
Yes,
And he said that they do not?
yes.
Okay, so then my next question is, could it be tabled where, could we maybe look at it and say we vote each year based upon our needs and our budget and what's needed in our community? Because it looks like we're doing it for this year and then all subsequent years, like we're just
You
packing
are.
it.
You could do that. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be where the county ultimately wants to go.
And I think that that's a real, I can understand that, but my question is just so that we have the opportunity, based upon what the need is for our budget.
Would this not be in the yearly, every budget cycle we would see this?
No, I think the ordinance, or the resolution, the agreement's written in that this is how it is from now moving
Yeah, that's what
forward.
I read.
From now going,
But this is basically the county telling us they're not going to pay us this. There's no,
Negotiation.
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
so I answered your question. Yes, you can do that. Doesn't mean it will flow that way.
Yeah.
I don't know is the next question.
Well, they could come back and say we want past year's payments back,
Potentially they could.
but I think they're playing nice with us and saying, starting fresh.
Sure.
I think that's their angle, yes.
going forward versus going back. Well, we don't want that to happen, come back. No.
Can I ask a question? So are they the only ones that can do this, or can this start to be a slippery slope where the county says, we're not going to pay this taxing district, we're not going to pay this tax? And before you know it, because like our CRA, we're already giving half that money away, and we're already at a point where we can't fund stuff until the next year. So, it only seems like a small amount, but the fact that we give away 50% of our budget all the way court mandated, it's kind of a big amount that we're giving away.
Well, the amount that we're forced to give the CDC is a court order. It's
Right.
not a county issue, so that's not a county problem. And, again, the county ultimately is, it's their determination on how they're going to define what the incremental payment is.
Can they do that on other things too, fire, police, school? Can they do that on all of them? I mean, could this start to?
No. This action is reference to the county's share of the incremental
Okay.
growth in each of the community redevelopment agencies in the county.
Okay.
So, no, it won't, it hit the county in two, it hit, past tense, the county in three different funds that they had where the county ultimately paid the increment, which they have determined they don't have to. So it hits them in the general fund where they're continuing to pay the increment out of the county general fund, which is the lion's share of the money. The water management district, although it acts as a district, it's now formally under the control of the BOCC. So that district didn't believe that the statutory language applied to them, and now the county's coming back to you and saying that the statutory language doesn't apply to an MSTU.
Okay, thank you.
For me, it's just where it says allowing the Lake County EMS. 'Cause, to me, it sounds like allowing implies that there is a vote and choice, and what I'm hearing is it's not really.
I think that's written nicely.
Do you think that there's going to be ways? I think Mayor Berry brought it up to find other ways to fund that, because like it says, our CRA is already, as you had mentioned at the last meeting, next year there's really not a whole lot of money left in the CRA, and we were looking at projects like the East Side to do things like they do in Carver Heights, where they have those grants available to some of the houses over there. So I do think that, this is 50,000 this year or something like that, 54. Next year it's even more. Are we going to be able to find other sources to make that up, or is it just?
The revenue sources are the revenue sources.
Okay. Thank you.
Because I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, if this is, a small amount, this small amount could be used for the home improvement grant I've been asking for and talking about and trying to figure out how to fund. So,
Yes, it has been.
so that is, difficult
You're getting a 50 grand hit.
Definitely a
for
concern.
me to accept. Very difficult.
Well, any further? No? Roll call?
Commissioner Sokol?
I guess yes, since we don't have a choice.
Commissioner Connell?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Reisman?
Yes.
Commissioner Ponder?
No.
Chairperson Berry?
Yes. That's roll call now? Yeah, that was 3B.
Commissioner Reisman?
Just want to thank Ms. Diane Yeckel for her hard work on the FSL grants again.
Commissioner Ponder? Commissioner Sokol?
I have nothing at this time.
Commissioner,
I did look on I'm sorry, excuse me for saying nothing, I did think of something. I did look on the website to see if any information had been posted on the way where people in the community can know how to reach us if they had concerns, and I hadn't seen that updated.
We'll address it.
Thank you.
Commissioner Connell?
No, ma'am.
Commissioner Berry?
Nothing tonight.
Commissioner Peterson?
Nothing tonight.
Chairperson Berry?
Nothing further tonight, thank you. May I get a motion for roll?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Meeting adjourned, thank you. We will call our Monday, April 13th, 2026 commission meeting to order. We have had our invocation and our pledge during our CRA meeting at 5. We have no proclamations today, but we do have a presentation from the Electric Department for Safety Awards. Please.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. My name is Brad Chase. I'm the Director of the Utility Department here at the city. Recently, the City of Leesburg Electric Department had the honor of being presented 2 safety awards. One is the American Public Power Association 2025 Diamond Safety Award, and the FMEA, Florida Municipal Electric Association Safety Award. Both of these awards recognize the City of Leesburg Electric Department for demonstrating outstanding commitment to safety, protection of our employees, and the community that we serve. In 2025, the Safety Department, or Electric Department, apologies, had zero safety incidents, 0 accidents, no lost time events, or reported cases. Line work listed as one of the top 10 dangerous jobs. In order to provide reliable power, line workers are frequently engaged in dangerous work that can place them at risk or serious or fatal injuries. For these reasons, public power utilities place significant emphasis on safety and training. Our team has a strong commitment to safety, and over the years have developed a strong safety culture, and we strive for excellence. So again, safety being one of our foundations for electric reliability. Utility operations is a cornerstone to employee protection. Every task, every routine maintenance, emergency power restoration that we perform must be committed to hazard awareness, proper procedures, and accountability. So again, just an opportunity to share today from the electric department. Job well done over the past 12 months. Thank you.
Congratulations. At this time, the public may bring matters to the City Commission's attention. Please note that issues raised during this time will not be discussed, but your comments will be referred to the appropriate staff or scheduled for consideration at future City Commission meetings. If you are speaking about an item that will be considered later in this meeting, your comments will be heard during public hearings. Each speaker is allocated 3 minutes. Kindly adhere to this time limit to ensure equal opportunity for all participants. Thank you. Are there any public comments at this time? Please state your name and address.
Darrell Crane, District 2, Leesburg. I would like to request that the commission at a future meeting take up the maintenance and beautification of West Main Street from Highway 27 to the South Street connection. I think it's been a long time since we've discussed that. I know the city took over maintenance of that area on the road, and I would like a chance to discuss that with the commission. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
James Hobgood, 410, I think it's 410, South 5th Street, Breakfast at Tiffany's. I just want to say thank you to the police department. They did JAG this weekend, which is all the area, if you guys don't know what JAG is, all the local elementary schools get together and do a Olympic-style games from pre-K all the way through 5th grade. I got to MC that and be the guy up in the booth doing that. I've done that now 3 or 4 years. I just want to publicly thank them. It was a really well-oiled machine. And it's something I actually participated in when I went to skiing when I was a while ago. So it's just a really cool thing that they do, and it was done really well, and it seemed that the kids and the teachers and what really had a good time. So thank you.
Moving on to our consent agenda. Routine items are placed on the consent agenda to expedite the meeting. If the commission staff wish to discuss any item, the procedure is as follows. Pull the items from the consent agenda, vote on remaining items with 1 roll call, and discuss each pulled item vote by roll call. Are there any items the commission would like to pull?
5B2 and 56C.
5, 6, C. Would someone please introduce?
No, I'll make a motion to approve remaining items on consent agenda.
Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Connell,
Yes.
Commissioner Berry,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Reisman,
Yes.
Mayor Berry.
Yes. Would someone please introduce 5B2?
I'll introduce and ask to be read by title only.
Resolution of the City Commission of the City of Leesburg, Florida, authorizing the execution of a $650,000 change order with Kingdom Construction Services, Inc. for completion of the Susan Street Sport Complex and providing an effective date.
Move for approval?
Second.
Go ahead, Jim.
Yes, I had several questions. Going through the change orders, you've got $175,000 overrun for construction, $252,000, I guess you want to say overrun for bleachers and scoreboards and field goals, and $140,000 for mitigation stormwater. I guess I'll start with the stormwater first. I understand there was some changes to the district on, I'm guessing, on how you accommodate stormwater. So several of my questions are, when did those changes take effect, and when did we submit our civil plans to the district versus those dates? I'll start with there.
Let me get half to answer the specific date questions for you, Commissioner.
Absolutely. Excuse me. Brett Tobias, half Taveri's Operations Manager, 902 North St. Clair Avenue. I'm here with Alistair Bryce, also with our office. We're the civil engineers for the site permit. As far as specific dates, I will allow Alistair to answer those as the engineer of record.
We made an initial submittal to St. John's in October of 2024, if I'm not mistaken. Permits were finalized in July of 2025.
And when did the changes with the district take place?
Sometime in the spring of 2025.
So the submittal in '24 should have accommodated these changes?
So the initial submittal went in with an aggressive design. It was originally a play field. We kind of converted it into a different type of play fields. Originally it was baseball fields. The redesign was more grass sports fields. So we were trying to get some compensation there. But the initial design went in with a submittal to the district. After we had a pre-application meeting, the district said that there was no impaired water bodies that we were discharging to. The first rounds of comments came back saying that we were in fact discharging to an impaired water body. Therefore, there would have to be additional treatment included as part of our design.
So the district changed from the original submittal to the second submittal on the impacted water body?
The initial pre-application meeting we had with them, they stated that it wasn't. When it went into review, there's more detailed review that came back saying that we had to accommodate to that.
So they gave us bad information, which is costing us to resign for $140,000.
They gave us information that they later contradicted upon a substantial review.
And they don't hold any responsibility for this bad information?
Unfortunately, sir, no, they do not. If you read any water management district permit that is issued to a private organization or a public organization, there's actually language in there that says if the district finds any fault with their own permit, even errors in their own reviews, that they are held harmless from that and that they can rescind the permit and require the applicant to resubmit with new application through no liability or cost to the district and all costs to the applicant.
Okay, so let me ask you another question, because I'm not familiar with, I was familiar with there was some changes in the district as far as their design criteria. But reading the agenda memo for tonight, it says I guess the rock that was estimated that was going to need was 100% miscalculated? Their criteria changed by that much, that we missed that mark by 100%?
I don't believe it was 100%. We had to increase the rock. The rock is your stormwater system.
Sure.
It's your underground storage, the water stored in the void space. Alistair, you can correct me if it's 100%, but the difference between impaired and non-impaired is a very large difference in criteria. It's going from what was the old presumptive criteria, which is a volume over the drainage area, to a nutrient calculation based on a set of different things. If you want me to get into the minutia of nutrient calculation, I'll be happy to do that, but I think everyone might get a little bored with it. But
Sure.
It's a much more stringent criteria when you have to do nutrient. Anything that is discharging to an impaired water body by statute does have to do the nutrient removal calculation. Yes, you can see dramatic increases in the treatment volume required to be retained on any given site based on this calculation now having to be done.
Just for my own curiosity, what water body is this impacting?
Lake Griffin, I believe.
What is it?
Lake Griffin.
Lake Griffin, way over there?
So way over there, I think, speaks to the disconnect between what the district originally informed us in versus the criteria they ended up at. They determined in formal review that there was a series of ditches, canals, pipes, et cetera, through a very long flow path that led to Lake Griffin. As an engineer, I have my own concerns about a flow path that long really providing a nutrient discharge to something that far away, but that's not the way the rule is written. The rule is written if you eventually end up in the impaired water body that you're subject to that criteria. But I think that because it was a long flow path, that led to perhaps the district giving us the erroneous information in the pre-application meeting.
Okay, so just so I'm understanding that we submitted the plans prior to the rule change, but you're saying you submitted the plans based on your conversation with the district
So
and didn't make the adjustments to the rule change coming into effect?
No, sir. So the impaired versus non-impaired wasn't a rule change. That's a criteria that's in the existing
Okay.
rule. But the existing rule allows for different design criteria based on which of those two buckets you fall into. So we're operating under the same statutory rule, but there's different design criteria based on which of whether you're impaired or not impaired. If you were not impaired, then we would have been one set of criteria which would have required much less volume withholding for treatment. Once we were put into the impaired criteria, your treatment volume increases dramatically.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. I'll stay up here in case any other council has questions.
Okay. See, I don't have any more questions for you,
Yes,
but I
sir.
do have some other questions, but.
Are there any other?
I have several others, it's just not for the civil engineers.
Okay.
My next question is, what is the $175,000, as it's shown in the agenda memo, the $175,000 overruns for construction?
So in the packet, there's that list from Kingdom Construction. We originally went into bid, or we went into contract with Kingdom Construction for $10.5 million. Of the $10.5 million, about $960,000 was a contingency in the project. We kept it a large contingency for the reasons that we kind of tried to expedite some permitting. We went into a bid process at 90% design complete because we're trying to meet certain grant deadlines, so on and so forth. So in the project, we submitted a list that's in the packets that shows all the areas where we were credited and debited. So that $175,000 is reference to how much we're over relative to the contingency. So where we come up with the 650 request is that 175 plus the items that we were planning to spend out of the contingency, the $252,000 for the bleachers, the scoreboards, and I think there was something else in there. Plus, we already paid for the mitigation. That was the 140 you referenced. So we paid, and I think this body approve the payment to St. John's for the mitigation, the 140, and then what's ever remaining to get the project done. So that's where we're coming up with the difference. But the detail is in the packets on all the things we're over. And I think there was like 24 items on that list. Some were credits, some were debits. But of that, the lion's share of the overage is directly related to the additional rock and excavation that we need to put in the additional filtration system for the championship field. And the championship field is designed as the turf, not grass, but artificial turf field. That's kind of the centerpiece of the park.
So you're saying that part of the 175,000 of the estimated overruns includes the mitigation? So I'm looking here at mitigation payments,
Yeah,
140.
So there's two areas of overages. So the commission approved the construction project of $10.5 million. That's exclusive of the engineering. So from the $10.5 million, the first expense that we put in that was the mitigation payment, $140,000. Okay, so the commission approved that expenditure that took off $140,000 from the contract price, which would fall into contingency. But now that other items from the contractor, excavation and the rock is pushing us up over that 960, I'm providing examples of where the overage is to justify the 650 ask.
Okay, so the Kingdom estimated overruns at 175 and the mitigation bank payments at 140, those two go hand in hand to address the district's issues?
No, the mitigation payment was separate, but because there's other overruns inside the project, I need to come back to you with all the overruns so that we can ask for the proper overage.
Right, but I guess where I'm getting confused now is you got the Kingdom estimated overruns at 175 and you got the recreational estimated overruns at 252.
So what I'm trying to explain to you is that everything on the Kingdom list, plus the scoreboards, it's the bleachers, the scoreboards, plus the mitigation payment. You add all those things up, you need the extra 650 to complete the project at an approved budget.
Okay.
Okay, so basically because the contingency is absorbed by Kingdom expenses, I need to find another home for that mitigation payment, so I need to increase the budget. So that's why the mitigation bank payment is now out of the budget.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm trying to fully understand, is the recreational estimated overruns, which includes scoreboards and goalposts and bleachers, that wasn't included in Kingdom's bid?
It was not. We anticipated spending those monies out of the contingency. I think there was about 100 for scoreboards in the Kingdom bid that we ultimately didn't use because we used those monies for other overages, which are on that list. So as things increased, they kicked out of the overage box, and so it's the Kingdom list plus that request. Those are all the overage items.
So
they're all listed out for you.
But the championship scoreboard was paid through a donation.
Correct. But there's 4 other fields that need scoreboards.
It's a project just keeps giving. I don't know I'm fully clear, but okay.
Now, with the overages, how does this project still cheaper than the second bid?
The second bid was $12.5 million. With the requested overage, I think we come in around 11.2.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions?
I guess there was, I think, an alternative in the agenda memo if we don't go with this.
Yeah, so the alternative is to complete the project for $10.5 million. Okay, so if we go with the 10.5 million, what we'll end up doing is we'll end up cutting back on other things in that contract. So we won't complete the project to fruition. So we would cut out the bleachers, we would cut out the scoreboards, we'd cut out some of these other things to get us into the budget parameters. But then the thing is the result will be, A, you won't complete the project to the design standard. You'll have to make some pretty draconian cuts that I would be back to you next fiscal year looking to solve in fiscal year 27 using discretionary monies or CRA monies or cash to go fix, because the items that we need to do to complete the project within the scope need to get done. So the option is you cut way back, but you're going to have a product that I don't think you'll be happy with.
Well, I think one of the options was to not go with the turf field and go with the grass field and the championship field. Wasn't that?
That you could, I think at this stage you probably could do that, but I think then you're going to put yourself into the category of having a field that was marketed, that people are looking at. We're already getting inquiries. People want to come and play on the turf field. So from the sports marketing aspect, that was a big part of this project, which is linked back to the money that the county is giving through the TDC money. Part of the concept was to have a regional facility that's going to be a sports marketing promotion. If you don't complete a turf field for the championship field, then we think we're going to take a big hit on how we can market the facility. So I think so yeah, that's an option. You could go back and build the grass field, but I think it's going to provide a product that's not going to live up to the standards, and then the encumbrances that we put on the TDC money. So in essence, and there's the potential that, okay, you build grass, now you don't get the scheduling for the outside market. If you don't get the scheduling for the outside market, you're going to hit the crawlback provision of the county money, so you might end up paying the county $1 million instead of the contractor $650,000.
The county's money's tied to we use artificial turf?
The county's money is tied to promotion and use of the facility. Use of the facility is tied to the type of turf.
That don't make any sense. I mean, you got the facility, whether it's turf or grass. I don't really know why
because
it would make any difference.
Let me explain it again. There's a marketing promotion to bring in sports tourism based on the type and quality of championship field we build. So we got $1 million of TDC money from the county that requires that field is used regionally at X number of events. So if we don't build a turf field, then X could be X minus something. If we don't meet that X number, then we could be on the hook for paying back TDC money. So there is a correlation between if you downgrade the field, you'll downgrade the type of event you get in. If you don't meet the standard of what we said to the county, then that could equal to the crawlback provision. So yes, constructing a grass field is an option. I don't think it's a very good one, because you could be on the hook for $1 million versus $650,000.
Okay. I mean, I would think most athletes would probably prefer to play on grass myself. But what is the difference in cost if you went with
I
grass?
didn't even look into that number because when it came back that the facility's not going to be built to the standard that we want, I stopped my research there.
Okay.
Are there any more comments? Questions? Okay, roll call.
Well, I just want to go on the record and say that this project started out at like 5.5. I supported it. It went to 7.5. I supported it. It went to 11.5 or 10.5, and I did not support it. But I will support this because the commission's heard me say before, if you're going to do a project, do it right. So I will support this increase.
Roll call.
Commissioner Burry?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Reisman?
Yes.
Commissioner Carnell?
No.
Mayor Berry?
Yes. Would someone introduce, please, 5C6?
I'll introduce, has to be read by title only.
Resolution of the City Commission of the City of Leesburg, Florida, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a water and wastewater utility pioneering agreement with Trinity, excuse me, Trinity Land Company, LLC, and all, and providing an effective date.
Move for approval. Second.
Any questions?
I do. That's Pioneer Agreement. My understanding of it is that they're proposing to put the utilities in, and in return, we reimburse them through city impact fees for the utilities as they pull permits. I believe if somebody's going to come to the city and ask for their property to be annexed in and developed, they should foot the bill to pay for the utilities to be run to it, not basically be reimbursed back with their own money. I think they should pay to run the utilities to their subdivision, and the impact fees that are paid as they pull permits, the city can use towards wastewater capacity treatment or whatever, not basically reimburse them to run the system to their development. So in that case, I mean, if you want to develop in the city, and you want to develop in the city because you need the utilities because they want the density, they should have to pay that bill, not basically offset the cost to get their impact fees back. The city should keep those impact fees and spend it in other parts of our infrastructure, capacity, like I said, treatment, what have you. So I would like the city to consider not approving this Pioneer Agreement. If they want to run the utilities, have them run it, but they don't get reimbursed through the Pioneer Agreement as they pull permits and get their impact fees given back to them.
Al, do we have any history with pioneering agreements to compare, or,
I will give you my opinion, and then mind you, it's not a legal opinion. I'm not one for precedent per se. So if we've done something in the past, I don't think that necessarily means you have to do it in the future.
Okay.
Our history has been to do pioneering agreements, and out of the premises that that's the purpose of impact fees. There's a bona fide, the law allows for lack of better word, sharing of impact fees if there's a bona fide public purpose. So having pioneering agreements tied to sharing impact fees because of a bona fide public purpose is a legally accepted principle that we have followed from time to time. And in case in point, this doesn't just happen with water or sewer impact fees, it happens with, dare I be blasphemous and say, road impact fees. So the county is actually leveraging impact fees at the intersection of 470 and 33 to make those improvements. So there is a history that we have done this. I would further say that part of the holdup in this particular agreement, I know Hanover, Hanover's acronym, there's about 3 different companies that's listed. So for clarity, because we've dealt with Hanover, I think it's referenced as Trinity and a couple different other companies, because each PUD that's affected has a different company name, which is not abnormal. But where I'm headed is, I did not want to have the commission consider such an agreement if the impact fees didn't provide the city the financial ability to pay and leave us holding the basket for what would be a liability for a public improvement where the ratepayers from their rate fees would have to finance that construction. So we probably put Hanover on pause that 6 months until maybe even a year. Mr. Snyder probably would say we held them up longer than that. But the concern is that when water sewer impact fees come in, there's 2 major uses for those monies: collection or distribution on the water side, collection on the sewer side, and then treatment. I think our fees we're not writing an agreement for a check that we can't cash. So in English, that means we're not paying out impact fees that we don't anticipate collecting, that leaves us in a deficit. We did that chart for you, and I think, if you count up potential collectible revenue, we're in the neighborhood of $50 million all units in South Leesburg, less about $20 million, including this agreement of impact fee assignments that we're proposing. Water's a little bit less, but each side, you still walk away with significant cash. I'm not going to say significant cash. I think the number I put in the packet was about $25 million. So after all obligations are paid, if they don't time out, then the city potentially has $25 million. So that would go in our accounts and sit for, at this point, treatment. So, I mean, so back to your question, have we done this in the past? Yes. Is Commission, you didn't ask this, but Commissioner Cannell's question is maybe we need to stop making that a policy, and if developers want to develop, make them pay their own way. And, I think that's understandable, and it is a policy that you could do. We have not done that to date. For most of the major expansions, which I roughly call the Silver Lake region, we went into a number of developers agreement for water and sewer to basically loop water so that there's a big giant loop in the system that goes from up 44 down Radio Road and then back to 441. So we create a continuous water loop. And then we've designed the collection or the wastewater treatment system. So roughly from the north side of Radio Road, it goes up and around down 44 as a collection standpoint. So really that northeast side of the city, the Silver Lake region I call, we've really got contained and good design philosophies, I think, on water and sewer to get those areas tackled. And then on the south side, between the NVR agreement, which is the sewer bypass agreement, and if you do this agreement with Hanover, you've got the 33 and 27 corridors pretty linked in. So from a water distribution and sewer collection standpoint, really our ISBA box is now covered when you do this agreement. So I think you've got two philosophies there, to continue down the path that we have or to change and say, developers, you need to cover it yourself.
So this is a relationship we would promote with the agreement with the developers that we should try to withhold. Am I hearing you?
You put me on the spot.
I'm
Should the
sorry.
city do the agreement?
I'm
Look,
asking
my
a question.
my recommendation is yes. I think you should do the agreement. That's been our history. But I don't want that to underscore Commissioner Cannell's point where he's trying to get you guys to go a different avenue. So I certainly understand that perspective, and I think either way is legit. The only thing I would say is this particular pioneering agreement with Hanover is craftily written so that we pay our obligations and we actually make Hanover's development subordinate to other agreements. So what does that mean? That means as developments come in who are going to be utilizing, I'm not going to go into the detail, but I'm just going to say it. I think everybody up on this panel understands what I'm saying for lack of time. Everybody who ends up dumping into the bypass, they will, whether you're in this 33 corridor or whether you're on the 27 corridor, there is a certain amount of your wastewater that's going to go through Section A of the bypass, which is the Okahumpka intersection roughly back to the turnpike. So everybody is going to be dumping into that bypass. So therefore, we need to make developers agreement that makes who's fronting the development of the bypass superior to other agreements. So that's a big part of this agreement. So even if you choose to pay the agreement and go the route that we have gone, it's written in a fashion that now we kind of subordinate, is that a word? We kind of subordinate whose fees are paid first. And so Hanover's obviously agreed to this. And there was communication between all the developers involved to explain the rationale of this agreement. So, Commissioner Cannell's way, hey, forget it. If you're going to come in, build it yourself. Or B, do it with the pioneering agreements, which we have done. And this particular pioneering agreement has kind of several layers in it that make it subordinate so that we can meet our obligations, collect enough impact fees to be able to meet what outstanding payments are out there and still have some impact fee money left
for future improvements.
Any other questions? If not, roll call.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Eastman?
Yes.
Commissioner Connell?
No.
Commissioner Bury?
Yes.
Mayor Berry?
Yes. We've already have a motion and approval for the remaining.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
on
we
to-
did, so
you're
yes.
on to-
So let's
to
go ahead and move
6A1.
to 6A1, public hearings and non-routine items. During public hearings and non-routine items, the commission requests that those in attendance respect the process and maintain order. As such, in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order, please refrain from speaking out, cheering, or applauding during these proceedings. Your cooperation helps ensure fair and respectful hearings. Do we have any? Want to swear? That's what it says. Want to read?
Swear.
Yes, thank
I
you,
want to
Madam.
swear first. Ask. I was trying to ask you to. would
Yes,
swear
thank you,
people?
Madam Mayor. If anyone here in the audience this evening plans to present any evidence or testimony on item 6A3, which is the Lake Brighurst PUD rezoning, if you would please stand and raise your right hand so we can swear you all in. Do you swear or affirm? You swear or affirm that all testimony you'll give tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, thank you very much. You're all set, Madam Mayor.
Would someone please introduce ordinance 6A1, 2, and 6A3?
I'll introduce 6A1, 2, and 3 to be read by title only.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Dan Miller.
6A1, and
Oh, sorry.
an ordinance of the city of Leesburg, Florida, annexing certain real property consisting of approximately 202.6 plus minus acres, being generally located east of County Road 33 and south of Lake Bright Street, and west of County Road 33 and south of Desert Lane, lying in Section 3, Township 21 South, Range 24 East, Lake County, Florida, provided that said property so annexed shall be liable for its proportionate share of the existing and future indebtedness of said city, provided that such annexed property shall be subject to all laws and ordinances of said city, as if all such territory had been a part of the city of Leesburg at the time of passage and approval of said laws and ordinances, providing that such annexed territory shall be placed in City Commission District 4, and providing an effective date. 6A2, an ordinance amending the future land use map of the comprehensive plan of the city of Leesburg, changing the future land use map designation of certain property containing 202.6 plus minus acres from Lake County Rural to City of Leesburg Estate Residential for property generally located east of County Road 33 and south of Lake Bright Street and west of County Road 33 and south of Desert Lane, lying in Section 3, Township 21 South, Range 24 East, Lake County, Florida, and providing an effective date. 6A3, an ordinance of the City of Leesburg, Florida, changing the zoning on approximately 202.6 plus minus acres from Lake County A agriculture to City of Leesburg PUD planned unit development to allow for 502 single-family residential lots for property generally located east of County Road 33 and south of Lake Bright Street and west of County Road 33 and south of Desert Lane, lying in Section 3, Township 21 South, Range 24 East, Lake County, Florida, and providing an effective date.
Move for approval.
Second.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Dan Miller, Planning and Zoning. This is for the Lake Bright Brighurst Annexation Large-Scale Comp Plan and Plan Unit Development Project. This project consists of an annexation, large-scale comp plan, and rezoning on a site of approximately 202.6 plus or minus acres. It's generally located east of County Road 33 and south of Lake Bright Street and west of County Road 33 and south of Desert Lane. The request is for approval for a future development consisting of 502 single-family dwelling units. Under this request, the future land use application for the project is requesting a change from Lake County Rural to City Estate Residential, and the zoning application is requesting a change from Lake County Agriculture to City of Leesburg PUD, which is Plan Unit Development. Under the responses for the city departments, there have been no substantive comments from the city departments. The property is outside of the City of Leesburg electric service area. Water, wastewater, natural gas all indicated the ability to service the project. The project has gone to the school board, Lake County School Board, as required, and the project is subject to the school concurrency review. Lake County Public Works had several comments on the project, including for County Road 33. Access management requirements must be met for access points off County Road 33. Left and right turn lanes have to be provided on County Road 33 at the proposed entrances, and development will need to accommodate a land area for the West Lake Trail along the property CR 33 frontage. There will also be off-site road improvements, road drainage, and future widening for saving space for future widening of County Road 33. Along for Lake Thomas Road, which is located within the PUD, the proposed PUD, any road that could potentially be vacated must maintain accessibility and provide new right-of-way for any impacted property. The concept plan that is being shown would need to be revised to show access to the western parcel, which is just west of their property on the west side of 33. And this access would need to be a right-of-way and road meeting local paved road standards. There is a roadway agreement that I would like to note here. The developer has a roadway improvement agreement with Lake County to improve the intersection of County Road 470, 48, and CR 33 in Okahumpka. A copy of that agreement is in your packet. It describes improvements to include widening and turn lanes and improving the intersection. Since this is a contract with the county, the applicant can provide you with more specifics on that topic. We do know it's about approximately $2 million request at, a $2 million project at this intersection. It should also be noted that if this project is approved by this commission, both the staff's recommendation and the PUD conditions do require the developer to initiate, construct, and complete the intersection work as described in that contract, or the property will revert under the zoning as in other PUDs to 1-acre lots. Under public responses, we have received, as you are aware, many public responses to this request. In summary, their concerns were wildlife peace and tranquility that is offered currently in the county, leaving the area intact for agriculture, concerns about neighboring cattle, requests for larger buffer and solid walls, too many houses and small lots in the areas. One person did request that the conditions would be changed to 1 unit per acre, or 1 acre per home site. Again, that's just a summary, but there were significant responses to this request. Under the terms of the PUD agreement, the proposal consists of 502 502 single-family detached units on 202 plus or minus acres. That gives you a gross density of 2.4 units per acre. No other uses would be permitted here. It'd be detached, single-family only, no townhouses, apartments, duplexes, or commercial uses. That would leave 299 50-foot wide lots and 203 60-foot lots for the total of 502. Project is planned currently for design in 4 different phases. The proposal for the project includes design and zoning standards such as architectural requirements, 35% open space, dark sky lighting, maximum height on the buildings of 2 floors, gutters for side yards, less than 7.5 feet, code-compliant landscaping. A split rail fence is required along County Road 33 at a height of 4 feet. And of course, the usual Bahia or Bermuda grass is required instead of St. Augustine. There is also a 25-foot wide buffer tract with plantings required in the PUD, and this is required along all property boundaries that are not adjacent to an existing wetland or preserved area. Access is shown on the site plan in 3 separate primary access points. All of these will have to have a boulevard access, which is generally considered a wider street with an 8-foot wide landscaping berm or landscape area in between the lanes. The PUD also requires the developer to provide any and all expansions or upgrades required to those access points and roadways as needed and required by FDOT or Lake County. We stated earlier there's a 25-foot buffer required around all property boundaries not adjacent to existing wetlands or preserved area, along with a split rail fence. And those buffers are required to be either undisturbed or completely replanted per the PUD. Lake County, of course, is mandating, because it's county road, mandating all of the roadways and roadway improvements, and that's backed up by language in the PUD. So the developer will end up having to add turn lanes, XL, decel lanes, additional right-of-way, et cetera. There's 2.3 acres of park and recreation land required. That includes 2 primary recreation areas, one on each side of County Road 33. That would include a swimming pool, cabana, on-site parking, and in addition, other uses could include things such as a children's pool, dog parks, children's playground, dog parks, gazebos. And these primary recreation areas have to be constructed by the time 50% of the single-family residential homes are completed. All the utilities would be in place. All the development has to be on city water and wastewater, natural gas as well for 80% of those homes at a minimum. Finally, we have the phasing or expiration clause, which requires that the development would move forward with substantial commencement within 4 years, or the property would have the automatic reversion to the RE1 zoning standards, which is 1 acre per unit. In addition to that, the contract with Lake County and the city recommendations and the PUD require that the intersection improvements would be completed within 18 months, or the project would again revert to 1 acre lots. So there's some pressure there. The Planning Commission did recommend a denial. That was a 3-3 tie vote, and a tie vote's a denial. They cited they didn't feel like there would be enough of an improvement in the traffic pattern, and they wanted the area to stay more rural in character. Finally, I have Mr. Ben Snyder, Mr. Tony Iorio of Hanover Homes, and Mr. Andrew McGowan of GAI Associates, who are here to represent the case and answer any questions that you may have. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Are there comments from the petitioners? Presentation.
Good afternoon. Andrew McCown with GAI Consultants. Our address is 618 East South Street, Orlando, Florida. I'm here on behalf of Hanover Land Company, the developer. And I do have the presentation. It's the presentation that you saw last time we were here about 2 months ago. As a refresher, I'm happy to go through this again, or else we can just jump to any questions you have, your preference.
I'll go. What's your pleasure?
Good to go to questions.
Questions? Yes. Go to questions.
I do just have one question.
Sure.
For my information. When I'm looking at the impact fee credits, the county said in here, it's stated that they are going to give you $2,006,489 worth of credit. Where does that number come from? Is that per unit? So the county has told you that you get this up to this amount of credit, and that is based on the number of units you're building. No?
No, that's
Okay,
based
what's that
on
number
that's based on the cost of the improvements to the intersection. So
it's just a trade-off in that respect.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Huh? Well, I don't know, because usually traffic impact fees.
Okay, so I'm just going to reconfirm what you just told Commissioner Burr here, that the improvements to the intersection, all you're really doing is taking the transportation impact fee money that you would pay as you pull a permit. You're just putting it up front to put the improvements into the intersection. You're not really paying anything more up and above or anything else than the developer actually would pay.
Yeah, it's per unit.
It is Ben Snyder, 605 Commonwealth Avenue, Hanover Land Company. It is a credit back of the impact fees. However, it ensures that the impact fees that we pay in Leesburg stay in Leesburg, as opposed to being at the discretion of the county to be used wherever in the county. When we approached the county about this agreement, the county didn't have funding to do these improvements on these intersections. So we thought it was a good thing to partner with the county on to ensure that the worst intersection on this side of the county was improved in a timely fashion before any of the units in this corridor would even hit it. So we thought that would be a good way to address the majority of the concerns from our neighbors, from the commission on P&Z and City Commission. So that's the rationale for the improvement. This project alone generates far in excess of the amount of money that it takes to improve that intersection.
Okay, thought I was under the understanding that that intersection was already on the county books to be addressed at some point.
They had designed improvements and did not have funding to complete those improvements.
Okay. All right. Another question I do have. Would this project have a CDD?
It would be incorporated into a CDD, yes, sir.
Okay. And would the
well, it could be. It's not required to be.
Would the CDD then take responsibility and ownership of all the roads in there and maintain them, or are you proposing that the city accept those as part of the platting process?
That could be just.
The PUD, Commissioner, the PUD is written both ways.
Exactly, yes, and I'm looking for a clarification. I don't want a may, I want a yes or a no.
Okay.
It could be, it could be dedicated to the city, it could be incorporated into the CDD at a later date.
At a later date, what do you mean later date?
Like during the platting process?
Okay.
And Commissioner, just to add on to your first question about the impact fees, so the 2.3 million that you saw in the agreement, if there are additional impact fee required of the development, the 2.3 is a credit that,
Exactly.
So if there's any addition to that, they would still be required to pay anything in
Yes,
addition.
I understand. Thank you, though.
Are there any comments from the public?
Thank you. No worries, thank you.
Good evening, Kayla Phillips, 3956 Lake Bright Street. The map that I provided to you, on the left side is circled Lake Bright Street. Laterally and just a smidge north would be the 9.26 acre property that you had discussed on the 323 meeting that you had declined to annex into the city due to the location of it, from my understanding. I do have a couple questions. How does this property differ from the Dewey Robbins Road? And then also, is this property visible to any existing city property? Because to me, it's quite far to get here in the evenings. And then did you receive the letter from Lake County Commissioners regarding opposition of the annexation into the city of Leesburg? I can go in time and time and again about safety, about the reasons why we moved to this area for the 5 acres per residence, and just go ad nauseum. But at the end of the day, this is where we live. The people here, we live there. We chose to live in an area where it did not have the city hustle and bustle in all these neighborhoods. Our infrastructure cannot handle it. Our roads cannot handle it. And it is extremely unsafe for new drivers of these people that would be living in those homes to drive down that road. If any of you haven't, I suggest that you do so. And we talked about that before. But my biggest thing is just safety concerns for the drivers. For my family, we wanted to live in a rural area, and that is now being threatened, and it is quite concerning. Are you able to give any response to my questions about the Lake County Commissioners? letter?
Yeah, on a staff level, I think you asked like 3 questions there.
I did.
I remember 2. One was, have we received the communication from Lake County? Yes. Ad nauseum. We have received all the county's recommendations to deny. Second, I think it's something about roads and can you see this area from, so something like that. My response is it's within the city's ISBA, Inter-Service Boundary Agreement. So this is developable, potential developable area, and the city has planned accordingly. What was your third question?
How does this property differ from the parcel at Dewey Robbins Road in terms of the annexation considerations?
Yeah, I don't think it
Dewey
really
Robbins
does.
was pulled.
Yeah.
You're talking about the most recent Dewey Robbins?
On the 323 meeting, now, remind you.
Oh, yeah, it was pulled.
Developer pulled that.
That small one you're talking about.
Yes, I thought you guys had made comments about it being too far outside of the
When the
city.
developer got up for his presentation, I
No, I
think
don't.
I wasn't at that meeting, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but at the 323 meeting, you guys had discussed that,
I think
and it was
that
too
maybe,
far.
yes,
Yeah, I
that-
think the
that
bottom
could
line
be.
summary is that they pulled it.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
and we don't know why they pulled it,
okay,
or I don't know why.
okay. All right.
I'll try to answer and give you at least my logic. I voted against projects off of Dewey Robbins Road because it was at the time a dirt road. And I was consistent there. We had the one development that was off of Dewey, south of Dewey Robbins, but it fronted 27, so I supported that one. I just want to clarify that. But Dewey Robbins to me was a dirt road. This is a paved road. That was my big difference.
Okay.
If that helps or answers your question.
It does. Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public? Yes. Please state your name and address.
Gerald Robinson. I live at 3520 Desert Lane. My property borders the development. And the intersection being improved or fixed, we have at A.B. Merritt Road, there's a red light now. The other day, the traffic at that intersection was backed up beyond Rogers Industrial Park, almost to 48 where it was gridlocked. Those cars had to come from somewhere. The intersection is part of the problem. When I went to pull out of my driveway, there must have been 20 cars and trucks going north. So it took me a while to get out. Another thing I noticed is 33 was just repaved within the last 7-8 years, and it's already got the longitudinal cracks in it where the road's separating from all the traffic that's on it now. So the road is going to have to get improved at some point in the near future, especially with these big trucks that's going to be delivering building materials, that kind of thing. So the congestion in our area is already a lot without there even being houses. In our particular area, in this development, most of the traffic is going to head south. I believe there was a traffic study that said 75% is going to be going south. If that holds true for the other 3,600 homes that's going north of the bridge on 33, if only 25% of them are coming south, we're going to have even more traffic on a 2-lane road, and that's taking up way too much space. What we're looking forward to, I believe the last meeting they said something about they've had a game changer. The way I see it, my game changer is I'm going to have more traffic, I'm going to have light pollution, so I can't use our telescope anymore. We're going to lose endangered species. I've already got gopher turtles moving into my field because the areas around it's been developed. So I think there's a lot to consider, and I think that it should be voted no, but I have a kind of a bias because I've lived there 30 years and now I'm fixing to see it, excuse me, go completely opposite direction. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mario Napa. I live in Legacy of Leesburg.
I have the letter that was written by the county, the Board of County Commissioners, and it was signed by Leslie Campione, the chair. And I assume you all got copies of this, and you understand that they are against this proposal. Now I'd like to share my own comments. I would like to share my perspective regarding the proposed annexation. It is my understanding, based on this letter, that the Board of County Commissioners would prefer that this property not be annexed. However, anticipating the possibility of approval, they entered into an agreement with Hanover to make improvements to the intersection of 470, 33, and 48. Because given this commission's history of routinely approving such requests, this appears to be a precautionary step rather than a solution. In my opinion, the planned intersection improvements amount to a temporary fix where a much more comprehensive solution is required. These limited upgrades are not sufficient justification for adding more residential development to an already strained area. As you heard from the MPO last month, current funding is inadequate to meet existing infrastructure demands, let alone future ones. Adding more homes will only intensify traffic congestion and infrastructure challenges. As was once stated by Commissioner Peterson on Lakefront TV when he was mayor, we build the houses, then we worry about the roads. I'm sure you remember that comment.
I assure you, I did not say that.
Yes, you did. I'll get copies of that for you if you like. I'll send you a video of it.
You clearly quoted me out of context. That I remember that interview very well. I would love to play it one day.
I'll send you a video. That approach was flawed then and is even more problematic now. There must be a shift toward more deliberate and responsible growth. Continued annexation without restraint is not sustainable, and there is no external solution coming to resolve these issues. There's no knight in shining armor that's going to come out and bail the city to make the roads more usable. I urge you to make thoughtful, responsible decisions in the best interest of your current constituents. And Mr. Minner, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe impact fees have to be used in the area in which they're collected. So even though they're collected in this part of Leesburg, you can't use them down in South Leesburg if you wanted to, despite what the developer stated. Or else they would have used money in South Leesburg to fix the roads South Lake County to fix the roads up here. I believe that's the way it works.
Yeah, okay, so I will, so that question is specific to road impact fees.
Yes.
So the road impact fees, and I'll say that Mr. Snyder subtly misspoke. While the money that's collected from this development being used on the Okahumpka intersections can't be spent countywide, which is what he said, they are focused in Leesburg. However, the differentiation I think that you're seeking is that there are, I think there's 5 transportation districts in Lake. I believe we're in the north, what they call the West Central District, which encompasses pretty much Leesburg, Fruitland Park, and Lady Lake. So impact fees that are collected in Leesburg could be spent in any of that area. It couldn't be spent down in Claremont. So I think the intent of Mr. Snyder's question was correct because it does capture those impact fees and it makes them have to spend them in Leesburg versus the North Central District.
Thank you.
Hello, my name's Donna Robinson. I live at 3520 Desert Lane. I don't see it. I don't understand why. I stay up at night wondering why. That people just want to keep pushing and pushing. All these homes coming in. Down 27 going toward the turnpike. It's horrible. And on these little roads, the villages are right on top of us. I don't know if you ever go out that way, take a drive out that way. Used to be, it was all nice country, cows and all that stuff. But right now, with the villages coming and going toward our grocery stores in Lake Harris Landing area, you can't get out. I mean, it's dangerous, and they're not paying attention. I mean, if you're not on your toes. The other thing is, like, I don't know, I didn't talk to all these folks. But right there where they're wanting to put the 2 exit lanes to come out of their parks is right over the tip edge, at the very tip of that, where the fire tower was. They're wanting to put it there. When you're coming from one way, you can't see. It drops off so quick you can't see that part. So you're gonna, if you got a light there, you're gonna be on top of somebody before you know it. And that thing down at the intersection of A.B. Merritt, I think it is, they've had so many wrecks down there. But all I know is the traffic's terrible. I don't know how in the world they're gonna improve that intersection down there without a bundle of money. Because you've got a gas station here, a barber shop here, and then the other 2 lots on the other side are open, but that gas station has underground tanks. And you're gonna have to, if you make that a roundabout or expand that intersection, you're gonna have to do something with that BP there. I just don't see how it can be done at a certain price. And then we come on down to where the yellow caution light is. I've done sweat my brain about what road it is. I see it so much. But they're putting some kind of a business there, a retired nursing home for dementia patients or whatever. I'm not really sure. That's going to be right there on that corner. You go up a little bit more, they're opening a brand new business building in there. You go past the sod place and past where Lester Coggins used to be, and then they've got the new plantation site. And then right across the street here comes new homes coming soon. They're already selling out in that area, right across the street. So I don't know how, and the last thing I want to say is usually when there's a wreck on the turnpike or something happens or they're evacuating, 33 is one of your main roads that they come up when there's a wreck on the turnpike. From down on by the Claremont Way, they come up 50 and then they cut over onto 33 to get to Leesburg. Because I've seen it backed up many times. So I thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Brantley Merritt, 3213 Desert Lane, Groveland, Florida. I like to begin with stating that I'm a 7th generation born and raised Floridian. We don't always think about what's beneath our feet, but maybe we should. Homes are about to be placed on a land that was known as a landfill, a place where trash, chemicals, and waste sat for years. And now we're expected to believe that it's safe to live there, raise families there, and breathe that air every day. But if that wasn't enough, here in Florida, the ground is naturally fragile. It's made of limestone, which can slowly dissolve and create empty spaces underground. That's what causes sinkholes, sudden collapses that can damage homes, roads, and put lives at risk. Now think about this. We're not just building on fragile land, we're building on a land that's already been filled with waste. That waste doesn't just disappear, it seeps into the soil. It can reach groundwater, and that groundwater is a part of our aquifer, the source of our drinking water. So what happens if that water becomes contaminated? It doesn't just affect one house, it affects entire communities. It affects people's health, and it creates problems that are nearly impossible to fix. And yet, construction will continue, homes will be built, and families will move in. But many don't fully take a second to realize what's beneath them, both the unstable ground and the long-term environmental risks. This isn't about development, it's about responsibility. Just because we can build somewhere doesn't always mean we should. We can't predict when a sinkhole will happen. We can't easily clean a contaminated aquifer, and we can't guarantee safety on land that's already been compromised. People deserve better than that. We deserve to feel safe in our homes, not worried about our water or the ground beneath us. So before construction begins, we need to stop and think about the risks we're taking, not just for today, but for the future, because once it's built, there's no going back, no room for regret. I'd also like to state that my grandfather is a handicap, and if he were to fall, me and my brother, we're not strong enough to raise him up because he'd be dead weight on the ground. And if I'm at school, my brother cannot do that by himself, and my brother's usually not even home either. And if there's an ambulance that has to get out there very quickly from Orlando Health and there's traffic, or if everybody's getting off work, how are they going to get out there in time before he's sitting there and he's having a heart attack or he can't breathe, or maybe because my grandfather, there's many times that he has caught on fire and nobody's been home to help him. What if they can't get out there in time and he's just sitting there burning, and I have to walk home and find that out, that the ambulance couldn't get out there in time because all the traffic from all these people that are getting off their work. Thank you.
My name is Lee Barnett.
I'm at 3205 Thomas Cove Drive. Just a couple of things. Just when you talk about impact fees, just so everybody is aware, to build a house on Thomas Cove or Desert Lane right now to this size will actually cost you $16,000 to $16,500 in impact fees. So I just want you to be aware you're talking of an $8 million in impact fees, where only $2 million is being invested into the junction up there at 470 and 48. So I'm sure we would all like to know where all this extra money is going as well. On top of that, all these projects that are going in, the city of Leesburg back in 2015 had a population of 21,785 people. In 2025, you've got a population of 40,487 people. You are looking at putting in around about 10,000 homes in this entire area that you are annexing in this actual area. And the Florida state is 2.3 people per home. You're pulling in another 20,000 people into the city of Leesburg, and the city of Leesburg can't even handle the population that it has right now, and none of its roads can handle the population that we have. You're going to be putting another 10,000 cars on the road in total. On top of that, you're going to be looking at unemployment. Unemployment, the state average is 4.3% right now. The city of Leesburg, their unemployment rate is 6%. Now, you're going to bring in all these extra people that are from like the villages. As the villages expand into this area, the villages' unemployment rate is 9%. Sumter County's unemployment rate is 9% because they have a large portion of the villages, and they also have a much higher foreclosure rate. The villages has a 9% foreclosure rate. It's going to make Leesburg so unattractive with a higher unemployment rate and a higher foreclosure rate. Our homes aren't going to be worth nothing because nobody's going to want to move down here. It's crazy. It really is. I mean, I understand that money is going to go somewhere else, but I think that you're taking money and you are taking it from one person and giving it to another, and taking it from one person and giving it to another. Why can't these developers just give you the $8 million so we can see full transparency of it and then see how it's spent? Because all this is going, you're going to let them do this for $2 million. You're going to let them do this for this. You're going to let them do that for that. We can't see that. We have no documentation to see where any of that $8 million is going, and even if the full $8 million is being paid.
Thank you, sir. We've heard from the staff. We've heard from the petitioners and the public. Does the commission have any more? Oh, excuse me. Are there any more that would, if you would kindly get in a line? Could you kindly get in a line if you have others that you'd like to speak for?
I'm James Revels. I live at 3430 Desert Lane, right there. And I own about 10 plus acres in there. My Gerald's right there, the person spoke. It borders my property right there. I got a question for you. Right here is a landfill. It's owned by Hewitt, but Hewitt sold it. Part of the village is out there. How is these big heavy trucks, if they open this up, is going to get through here, through this subdivision to the land behind it? Okay. You know, in the past we talked about a wall. The developer ain't going to do that. This year I've been living there like 35 years, you know, this year, and we talked about schools, we talked about everything in the past, okay? The first time it's brought up, the commissioners voted down on it, I think 3-2, and then it got voted down on it again about rezoning, okay, and now here we are again, okay? You know, we done said all we can say, but we talk about it, we talk about it. Mrs. Mayor, you once said up here that y'all are really listening to us, okay? Well, these people out here are here. They got better things to do. And we hope that y'all listening to us, and I'd be very grateful. You know, we talked about the schools, two schools got tore down in Leesburg here. Best I can understand, the county appropriates the money for new schools. Best I understand, I might be wrong, okay? But if the county ain't got enough money, best I can understand, to deal with this intersection, how are they gonna build schools? You know what I mean? And you're talking, this right here is not gonna be a retirement thing. It's gonna be a working class neighborhood, and there's gonna be a lot of kids in there. And it's gonna be an island in it. It's just an island separated from the city by rural land. Another question is, what about the surrounding agricultural land? How is that going to affect us? Is that going to be annexed in the future if we don't sell? You see what I mean? It's just an island. It serves no purpose whatsoever. So, only thing I'm asking y'all to do is just vote down on this for the sake of the people. You know, we put y'all in office to help us, and we hope y'all do, okay? I mean, maybe I'm asking too much, but these people spend a lot of time coming here. They're stressed in their homes at night. They think about this all the time. And in the back of their minds, they're hoping, hey, listen, maybe y'all just vote down on this because it's too far out of the city. There's too much rural land in between it. The city stops at A.B. Merritt Road anyway.
James, I do have a question for you. You've testified in the past to, as you said, this has been up numerous times. I believe you've said in past hearings that you have pigs.
Yes, sir, I do.
And you still have those?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And, you know, if anybody wants to come out and look at them, they be just more of my guess. But problem is, my pigs, it borders that fence line.
That's what I thought.
And what's going to happen here, these people are going to come up to me. They're not going to want the smell. They're not going to want to deal with the flies. And if it rains a lot, the pens fill up, okay?
Mr. Rebels, your time was at 3 minutes.
Right. Hey, thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public? Please come up front. Come. He's already spoken to. It's, you can go ahead, sir, yes.
Gerald Robinson, 3520 Desert Lane. Can we see the slide of the layout of the development with the acreages? The one that, yeah, there you go. There should be another slide that has it, a column down the side with the number of homes, lot sizes, that kind of thing. This is a 200 and something acre development. And if you take away the green space and all that stuff, it's going to crowd 502 homes into a little over 102, I think it is, acres. When I calculated, it was 98 acres of it is going to be green space and recreational. So the 500 homes on 200 acres doesn't really show that it's 500 homes on a little over 100 acres. Thank you.
Are there any further comments from the public?
Question for the petitioner. The concern that was voiced with the road that goes into the, and I understand it's a construction debris landfill, correct? So how has that been addressed, or what's the current plan for that road?
So the current plan, if you can pull it up, we are showing that there is access from a road in the project to
the south?
It's directly to the west. So if you could go down a few slides. Keep going to the site plan there. Yeah. So the property they're referencing is to the west, and so there is an access to city road standards leading to them.
That's been
The development schedule is proposed to be not develop that phase until that C&D is completely closed out and capped. And so we have it in our projections, and we've met with the new property owner and told him, you know, we will provide you public access and we won't develop down there until you are completely done filling that. So we won't be building directly adjacent to a active C&D.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Ben, if I recall, you're granting them an easement to cross it for a period of time?
It's already a public road, so we
Okay.
we told them we are not going to ask you
Okay.
to reorient your public road.
Okay, thank you.
So that would be phase 4, is that what this was going to be?
Yes, sir.
So could we put some language in the PUD that says exactly what you just said, that section 4 will not be developed until the landfill is capped? Was that?
Yeah, I don't,
So that way, the road is.
Or the road is closed or abandoned.
Yeah.
It's developed in 4 phases, and this would be the last phase here
Yes, ma'am.
where the landfill.
the
That-
C&D
do you have any,
facility.
Do you oppose if we were to do that? Is there any reason?
No, that's the development plan.
That's what your plan is anyway, right?
That's what our plan is anyway.
Yeah. So I'd like to make a motion that we amend the PUD to say that the, let's see, does it have a name? Or on the, yeah, let's wait, we're gonna have to wait on that. I'll withdraw it right now. We'll wait till we're talking about the PUD.
So,
This is
as
annexation.
part of the proposal, you would be vacating Lake Thomas Road and creating a new road to this landfill? Is that
At a
what I'm
later
understanding?
point when we develop phase 4. Yes, sir, that's the plan, to continue to
so-
allow him public access to his property.
So Lake Thomas Road is not part of any of your initial phases?
It is through phase 4, but not contemplated in that plan because we contemplated waiting until it was no longer needed for the C&D public facility, or C&D facility, in order to propose vacating it.
So the proposed access to the landfill initially will be in phase 1, 2, or 3?
No, sir. The proposed access to the landfill remains exactly as it is until the landfill is closed out. It's a road through phase 4.
Which is Lake
Which is
Thomas.
existing, yes, sir. And we didn't propose to do anything with that until we get to phase 4 to develop it, and we propose to develop phase 4 after the C&D is.
So when you get to phase 4 and you abandoned Lake Thomas, where's the access to to this property the landfill's on now? Where's that gonna be?
Exactly where it's shown on the 50-foot right-of-way on that layout.
What
right
phase would that be?
In phase 4.
In phase 4?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So that's a south road that comes off of 33?
It's the south, yes, sir.
Yeah,
The south
I
road
don't-
that comes off of 33 and then punches to the west.
And when you say they're done with it, you don't have a time frame on when the landfill will?
That's up to how they run their business. I mean, it could be, it really is their business.
So you're willing to roll the dice that this landfill never closes down, you just never develop phase 4 and 5?
We would hope that it eventually closes down. Most of them close down, Commissioner, and we think that this one will do the same.
Okay. Okay.
I have a question, if you don't mind. It concerns us.
Oh, go ahead, sir.
I got a question here because I live out here. My name is James Revels. I live at 3430 Desert Lane. This Thomas Road, are they talking about Thomas Cove Road? The reason I'm saying is this Thomas Road going to be inside the subdivision? Is that what he's saying? I was going to say because there's a road north of it right here that is Thomas Cove Road, and you can't get around to this landfill because it's separated by a marsh. So the only access forever is going to be through this subdivision, and this could take years.
South end of it.
Yeah, well, the south end of it down here at the bottom is actually a greenhouse thing, and there's no road there. Not unless they put a road, right there is where I'm pointing, at the south end, and there's houses right there. I don't see no road there.
I think what the petitioner is saying is if they need to move the provisional road that is in their development to
Yeah.
the south end of their development, so that the person behind them still has access.
Well, that means they're going to have to redo these homes in here at the south end because it looks like it's all houses in there at the moment.
I can only tell you what the,
I mean, because these landfills could take years to fill. Years. I mean, look how many years the landfill has took in the villages. They still put it in there. And this right here, I live there, and there's gas vent pipes that's coming out of it. And that landfill caught on fire one time, best that I can remember, because fire trucks were going for days and days in there because they had a above-ground burn pit there. And if memory serves me right, don't quote me on it, but I think it caught fire. And then all the methylene gas is coming out of this landfill through PVC pipes sticking on above it. And he's going to put houses right there to all that? That's bad. My opinion here is that this thing is zoned agricultural, right? 5-acre tracts, 202 acres. Let them sell it. I mean, if the landowners don't want it, put 40 houses in there. I mean, because it's going to be less impact and everything. And then this landfill right here, it's not good sense. It's not good sense. And the road issue, well, this road issue, best I can hear, it's all over the place. I mean, are we going to put it at the south end? I see houses there. You see what I mean? And you can't come around it because of the marsh from the north end. And that's protected by St. John's. Thank you.
If you could go up a few slides to the aerial. So this kind of white line you see here, this is the existing road that accesses the site to the west. So that will remain in place until phase 4 commences, which will be the last phase of the project. So the access will remain just as is until, as you are suggesting, the landfill closes. And then at that time, it would be replatted into the subdivision.
and the property owner of the landfill would still have access.
Yes, exactly. Yep, with the new road system.
And going over the road improvements at 470, 33, and 48.
Absolutely. If you could go down towards the bottom to
Is-
the,
One question, please, before you do that, can you state when you went and when you requested from the county to make arrangements to provide the road improvements? After, I think that was our third meeting?
you mean when,
Back, a year ago, for presentation.
you mean when Hanover engaged
Yes,
the county?
Yes. Just curious before you go there, I'm sorry.
Last year, sometime, Ms. Mayor, I mean, I don't remember the exact date.
Okay.
I can look it up.
Oh, just
but
wanted to know
I
the
don't know
timeframe. Go ahead.
exact date.
Okay.
So just as a quick summary of, and reminder of the improvements that are proposed. So this is the intersection of 470 and 48 and 33. And it will consist of new turn lanes. So in some directions where there were not turn lanes before, there will be new turn lanes installed. The entire intersection, basically the entire area you see here, will be milled and repaved. It'll be restriped. There will be crosswalks added on all of the legs of the intersection. The overall geometry of the intersection will be improved to become safer geometry. So the radii of the turns will be improved. They'll be softened. There will be new shoulders installed. Overall, there will be widenings. So overall, in certain places, the intersection will be widened, and then the drainage will be improved over the full intersection.
Will this require new lights as well?
I believe there are new lights to be installed.
Will they be what did the MPO call them, smart lights or smart intersection? I didn't know if, well, we're putting new lights here, I didn't know if they would be that.
Jodelle Zaballero, Traffic Mobility Consultants, 988 Woodcock Road, Orlando, Florida, 32803. So when you're talking about smart lights, are you talking about the detection of the because from my perspective, they'll have improved detection for the lights so that they can accommodate whatever is coming into the intersection and adjust the lights and the timing with that.
The last meeting, the MPO, Mike Woods mentioned something about that, and I was just curious. Okay.
Any further questions?
I have a few for staff if you're done with public comment.
Are there any more public comments, please? Go ahead, Jen.
Dan, I just want to recap a few things that's been discussed tonight.
Yes, sir.
Just for staff to be on the record. To the west of the subject property, abutting the subject property to the west is indeed a landfill.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Which I believe is called CR 33 Landfill LLC.
I believe that is correct.
As James has testified tonight, that would be to the north, I think, of the property, of subject property. You're
Where?
the north, James? No, your property.
Oh,
Okay, so the north of the property is pigs.
that is correct.
Okay, so we have a landfill on the west side, pigs on the north side. And the access to the landfill will remain in effect off of Lake Thomas until they get to phase 4, I believe is what's been testified today.
Yes, yes, sir.
So it'll remain an active landfill through phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3.
Yes.
And did the developer testify that they would not develop phase 4 or phase 5 until the landfill was completely out of business?
I believe he did, till it was closed.
So it was closed.
Just closed, yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, but with no date at all when that might be. But anyway, so phase 1, 2, or 3 will operate with a landfill in their backyard and pigs to the north of them.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that was the clarification I wanted to get from you.
Okay, anything else?
No, sir, I think that's it.
Yes, sir.
Any further questions?
I just want to recap I don't want to be redundant here, but one other question I did have for Dan, though, if you don't mind, one other question I did. What is the zoning basically around this whole subject property? What is existing zoning that surrounds this property?
The property and all the property around it right now is zoned agriculture.
So it's all ag, everything
Yes, sir.
out there is
Yes,
ag,
sir.
which would make sense with a landfill and pigs. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I just want to recap on a couple things. We get landfill to the west of the property. We have pigs, hogs to the north of the property. We have proposed 502 units, still going on to a 2-lane road. The intersection improvements, as I said earlier, I know it's being proposed that they're doing all this, the intersection, Good Samaritans, whatever, but all they're really doing is taking the impact fee money and paying some of it up front and throwing some money at the intersection. I've looked at the improvements. It's some turn lanes. I really don't see, it's almost like a Band-Aid on a knife wound, based on the amount of traffic we're going to be putting on this road with all these developments. I really don't think long-term it's going to do much of anything. And they're getting credit for putting the money up front. So they're really not doing anything any other developer's not doing. It's just paying a couple million up front versus as they go. They were non-committal on the CDD if this project were approved. They were non-committal on the CDD taking and maintaining ownership of the roads for maintenance. We don't know what's going to go on in the rear of the property to the west when the landfill actually stops, I guess. But we have to, that road's got to be maintained to get back to that property. We have no idea what's going to go on it. And the whole area, all the property surrounding it, to include the subject property, is all ag. I mean, can we not in Leesburg have any rural property left in Leesburg that's not covered with rooftops and asphalt? I mean, I ask the commission to really consider all these factors when we get ready to vote here in a minute. Thank you.
May we have other commissioners to deliberate? You have no comment?
No comment.
Let's call the vote for 618 annexation.
Commissioner Eastman? Commissioner Connell?
No.
Commissioner Bury?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Mayor Barry?
Yes. Motion for 6A2.
So moved.
Roll call.
Commissioner Connell?
No.
Commissioner Bury?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Eastman?
Yes.
Mayor Barry?
Yes. Motion for 6A3, please.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Any further discussion?
Yes.
PUD
I would like to add to that PUD that I think it's partial 1701414 must have that continuous access. Phase 4 cannot be commenced until the landfill is closed pursuant to all regulatory agency standards.
If you make that amendment, you probably want to stick that in the transportation section, Dan?
Yes, sir.
Somewhere in paragraph 8 of the PUD.
So you have a motion on the floor?
I just made that.
I'll second that motion.
I would, okay, well, I just want to add to you, if you're going to move forward with this, that I think the PUD should have in there too, that the CDD has to be responsible for the roads in here too. We shouldn't take these roads as part of the plat.
And I understand your concern. Dan, the PUD reads may, is that correct?
That is correct on roads.
On
They have to
roads.
be, every road has to be built to city standards.
Built to city standards, but the city may.
Right, but hold on, Commissioner Cannell may want to exact and be specific and take, he alluded to that during discussion. So let me, Commissioner, just bear with me
Sure,
one
go ahead.
second. There's a paragraph in there specifically that you will want to strike. And I believe it's 8H1, but let me look at it real quick. Dan, if you can help me out here. It's 8, so you'll want to strike 8H1 because that gives the contemplation of dedication, and 8H2 is the one that talks about you have to create a CDD. So if you take out paragraph 8H1, there will be no dedication of the roads. Do you agree with that?
I
Grant?
agree with that. yeah.
Okay, so you would, here, let me suggest this to you. You have a motion on the floor to amend it with the language that's spelling out specific criteria that affects Lake Thomas Road. Why don't you vote on that, and then come back, and Commissioner Cannell, if you want to add a change to the PUD that strikes that paragraph, let's do that in the second round of modifications to the PUD.
There's a motion.
So the motion on the floor
is to amend the specific specifications for Lake Thomas Road.
As
As
stated by Commissioner
Commissioner Burry. So we have a
So would you
second,
vote on
so
those?
roll call.
Well, I have one question, just for clarification. This PUD we're voting on is basically allowing the 502 units?
Yes.
Okay.
So there's a motion on the floor the mayor asked for, which is the amendment that Commissioner Burry stated, which were which states that the parcel to the west, which is identified as number 170414, that must have continuous road access. And part B of that is section phase 4 of the development cannot commence until the landfill is closed and closed pursuant to all regulatory standards. So that's an amendment to the PUD that's on the floor. It's been seconded, and now you need to vote on that.
Commissioner Burry?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Reisman?
Yes.
Commissioner Carnell?
No on the amount of units.
Mayor Barry?
Yes. And now,
Commissioner Cannell, if you wanted to add an amendment that strikes section 8H1.
Yeah, I would make a motion to strike H81 in the PUD, and that, so by striking that, that means if this passes, the CDD will have to be responsible for the roads.
Yes.
Okay, I make that
And
motion.
I'll second that,
It's
just
been
for
moved.
discussion, because
One point of clarification, if I may.
Yeah.
Does that require it to be a CDD, or can it be an HOA, or
could be an HOA.
does it
I
make
would
any
say-
difference either way?
I would say whoever's going to take the responsibility.
Thank you.
it's been
Right.
moved and properly second to amend the PUD for CDD or HOA. Am I stating that right?
Pretty much, yeah. My question is to Grant, and it's not that I want to take the roads. I like the fact that new development should pay for itself, and I like how that is done. And that's this body making that decision. My only concern is that 8 years from now, when none of us are here, and it's a different set of minds, if we take the word may and make it a no, then it's a cut and dried thing. A different commission may want to decide differently with the wording may. And from a legal standpoint, it's probably not a good word, Grant, I don't know, but I just think it gives the body an opportunity to say, yeah, we'll take the roads, or no, we won't take them.
It does, that does allow the option, yes.
And I thought we were taking roads back now, even from subdivisions that were built, before we even monitored the roads. My point is, I know I started this on another Hanover development where I wanted them to take responsibility for a boulevard that went through the project because I thought it would be heavily traveled by the public. But we didn't, I guess other than that, we've been pretty consistent in saying when it's built, we'll take responsibility for the roads. I mean, this is a whole change in policy for what we've been doing for the last 5 years, as long as the commission understands that.
Yeah, Dan, I know our PUDs have evolved under
Yes, sir.
this commission quite a bit. Is that word may put into the road question? Is that a new thing, or has it always been like that?
It's been in there for the last several years. It's actually, the wording is should the permittee or designee choose to retain the roadways, they shall establish an appropriate legal density. And then it goes on to say that would be a homeowners association. And it does not deny them the opportunity to plat the development and turn the roads over to the city. So,
And when we first started this, we had a big debate on being sure the roads were built to, properly and all that. As long as they're built properly, we were willing to take them back, is my understanding, Al.
Yes.
Yes. Need one more explanation than yes. I think that the struggle has been with the PUDs is both Commissioner Cannell's and Commissioner Burry's concerns tied together. In subdivisions where we have said we ain't gonna take it, we as a city, we lose a little bit of track as far as construction management. So the roads get built, they go in, and then sure as we're sitting here, there's issues with the roads. And then those residents come to the natural source to get the roads fixed, which is the city. And that happened in Lake Denham Estates.
Because the HOA doesn't have the money.
Or whatever, because the HOA doesn't have the money, or they're still phased, so that becomes problematic. And then the residents look to the city to fix the roads. As a result of that process, we started going, yeah, we'll accept dedication. And some PUDs, I think, have been very specific that we're going to dedicate it, but then some of the PUDs have had to stay under boilerplate language that have gone back and forth. In this specific case, I think Commissioner Cannell's position is this overriding factor which supersedes the discussions that we had is we don't want to take the roads. So therefore, keep them outside the city's maintenance requirement, hence the concept and the discussion we're having. So it really becomes up to you all whether you want to leave you've added the restriction about the west property, so that's been adopted. Now the question becomes, do you want to be more specific? I'll also indicate that if you do strike paragraph 1A, then we probably need to change the language a little bit, because the intent, by striking paragraph 1, the intent is we won't accept dedication, so we probably need to add some language into paragraph 8H2, renumber it, and say there shall be no dedication. Therefore, the PUD is required to have a CDD, HOA, or an entity that has the responsibility of future road care and maintenance.
Yeah,
so probably we need to add that.
Yeah,
in the
I think
document.
we could probably strike out that first part of the sentence in H2, should the permittee or designee
Right.
choose to retain the roadways.
But-
strike that out so that it starts with the permittee shall establish an appropriate legal entity that shall accept
Yeah, and I
responsibility.
pontificate that if you pass this, that gives Grant a little bit of flexibility to Scribner changes that make a pursuant to the motion, which is we don't want to take these roads, so therefore Grant will touch up the PUD with we're not taking dedication of the roads.
I agree with that.
And
I
we probably,
think
if we're
that-
going to add that, we probably should say road and stormwater improvements as well. Because then next we're going to get the complaint, well, we'll fix the stormwater, but not the road. So you guys probably should be clear that the intent of, and Commissioner Cannell's nodding, we're not going to accept dedication of stormwater and road improvements and stick it in that paragraph H something.
Yeah.
So when all this came up, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years ago, I mean, how this evolved, to help me out, Al, was we had a subdivision where the developer turned it over to the HOA, was not maintaining the roads, and we had to come in, because residents were upset. So we came in and had to take over so we made a decision to repair the roads.
Actually, Cliff, help me on that. In Lake Denham, I don't believe we coughed up any funds to fix those roads. So that's a no?
We have not.
Yeah. So
Fund for that one, I believe.
there was. So with Lake Denham Estates, so, in that particular case, I think, the process worked.
And I don't mean to interrupt you. I may be going back further because I think it was a subdivision before that one.
I don't remember.
I'll stop. But what I was going to say was the issue was we also amended our policy where we had to be more involvement in the roads. They had to be built to certain specs because we found out that we were taking roads back from old subdivisions where they weren't built properly. Does that all?
I think we have a similar recollection. I think our intent is the same. I have it specifically framed to Lake Denham Estates is where we ran into that issue because we got a number of residential complaints. So while the residents aren't going to say the process worked, I think the city will say the process worked. And the process worked in that when we started getting complaints from the Lake Denham Estate HOA, my office and Cliff's office, we worked with the HOA, we worked with the developer, and we ostensibly, the city, I think, we were able to force the correct improvements. I think we might have done that with the deed of dedication, like we're never going to take these pursuant to the agreement if you don't do this fix. And I don't think we've accepted dedication of those roads, but they got fixed. So at the end of the day, the residents had some pain, but the city was able to leverage our position to get the roads fixed. I think from that experience, we started saying, they're going to come to us anyway. And so there was one or two subdivisions that we were, and PUDs, that we did specifically say, we'll take them. But then I think we started to back off that, and the boilerplate language of A or B kind of weaved itself back into PUDs. So in this particular case, I don't have a recommendation for you. Ultimately, I think what's going to happen is residents who live in a PUD that has failing infrastructure, their position is going to be to come to the city to get the city to fix it, and eventually we will. Or, we'll do our best to leverage that improvement. It's not easy if we don't own the street. The other side of the equation is if we own the street, we'll fix it because it's ours to fix, and that's what we do. And that method is cleaner, but it doesn't necessarily say that the issue won't get fixed. Does that make sense? So it's cleaner, it's easier to take dedication.
Right.
There's still some punch to not dedicate roads to the city and they still get fixed. But that road's a little bit harder. But what you get on the flip side is you get the certainty that the road impacts aren't going to hit your general fund budget.
You said it much better than I did.
So I think there's a motion on the floor to strike paragraph 8H1 and modify paragraph 8H2 so that it doesn't take dedication of the roads and that the roads remain in ownership of the CDD or another agency that has ultimate responsibility for maintenance of the road for the perpetuity of the subdivision.
And stormwater, I think.
Stormwater.
And I already seconded that, but shouldn't we?
And that's Commissioner Connell's motion.
But shouldn't
And you
we-
seconded it.
Yes, I did. Shouldn't we hear from the petitioner whether they'll even accept those changes to the PUD?
My suggestion is you don't need to hear from them. It's your decision to make. And if they don't like it, they're going to withdraw their petition.
And there's that.
Roll call, I guess.
So there's a vote on the motion, which is to strike the
H1 and modify H2, 8H2.
And add in the roads as well as the storm.
yes. So
Roll call.
Commissioner Peterson?
No.
Commissioner Reisman?
Yes.
Commissioner Connell?
Yes.
Commissioner Burry?
No.
Mayor Berry?
Yes.
So now you're into a motion, so now you're on the PUD as amended vote. This would be the final vote.
Okay. So we're voting on 6A3
6A3 as amended.
as amended.
But no, this is the one that's approving the amount of units, so, oh.
Yes, that's all in there. Yes, sir.
Roll call.
Commissioner Reisman? Commissioner Connell?
No on the density.
Commissioner Burry?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Mayor Berry?
Yes. Would someone please introduce ordinance 6A4?
I'll introduce and ask for read by title only.
An ordinance of the City of Leesburg, Florida, amending Chapter 4, Aircraft and Airports, Article 2, Standards for Operators and Airport Tenants, Section 4-19, parentheses C, leases of the Code of Ordinance to authorize approval of standard lease forms and rent rates for certain airport rentals, and to authorize execution of standard lease forms by the city manager providing for inclusion in the code of ordinances, providing for severability and conflicts, and providing for an effective date.
Move for approval?
Second.
Any comments? Anyone? Comments? Roll call. Andy?
Commissioner Reisman?
Yes.
Commissioner Connell?
He stepped out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Commissioner Burry?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Mayor Berry?
Yes. Next one is 6B1. Will someone introduce?
I'll introduce and ask to be read by title only.
An ordinance of the City of Leesburg, Florida, dissolving the Terra Oaks Community Development District pursuant to Section 190.046, parentheses 10, Florida statutes, finding that the district has no outstanding financial obligations and no operating or maintenance responsibilities, providing for repeal of ordinances in conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Have a motion?
Yeah, just a question, and more a question for Grant. Why do I want to get out of holding them to a development standard? We've approved about 7 of the, I think, of these in the greater Leesburg area. And, it was my understanding that they were like, we don't have the burden of the new infrastructure on our taxpayers. There was a lot of good things for the city while you approved these, and so all of a sudden they don't want it. Well, they already got it. So why should I be voting? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir, there's been some family issues, some people that have passed away. And what they want to do is they've decided that at this time, the district is no longer necessary. We anticipate that they will have to come back in the future once the new ownership is settled, because there's nothing for them to do at this time.
Dan, is there a language in that PUD that they have to get a CDD as well?
No, sir, there's not. That's a very old PUD, went back to 2005, and I think we amended it around 2017 or 18. What we're anticipating is that they will need to redo a new CDD or HOA, one or the other, but I believe they'll want a new CDD. We will contact their legal firm and find out. I understand that because there were deaths in the family, they don't have the right people to make up the district anymore. But we'll find out more for you.
Yeah, my question is, what's in it for us?
You can on this until Dan has more information.
It's a first
It's
reading.
first reading, so we've
I
got
know,
time.
but do you want to set the first reading up or the second hearing? We don't have to do it at the next meeting.
May we call their attorney's office in the morning, because I noticed I didn't see them here, and they have advertising requirements that they have to meet that are outside what the city has to do per Chapter 190 of Florida statutes. They
So
have
we-
to advertise hearings.
So
May
we can march
get
forward,
together
and
in the
if Dan
morning?
doesn't
Yeah.
have your
Yeah.
answers at the next meeting, you guys can kick the can then.
Yeah.
So keep moving forward on this with that question being answered
Yeah.
before your final vote.
Yeah.
Duly,
Generally, I don't know
Duly
that there's a
noted.
good reason
Yeah,
why.
I'm just kind of
your
missing something. I don't.
concerns understood. We'll dig
Yeah,
into
no, it was
that.
a great question.
Yeah, we'll
And
look
we'll try
at
to
it between
satisfy your
now.
answers before this comes
Before
back
we
to
say
you on
yes or
second
no.
reading.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
So
And so this is,
to learn something, the PUD stays in place. This is just,
yes.
Yes.
I guess that's where I thought you were going with this, maybe tying them together.
We'll get more info for you for the time this comes back. Otherwise, you could need
Okay,
another.
I was looking at Commissioner Burry when he said, what's in for us? I didn't know if there was any issues with the PUD. We can talk about it the second reading.
We'll make sure to express the gravity of the situation to the developers, and we'll have better answers for you. It'd be the next meeting when this comes back. Yeah, so we understand if you're not happy, it could be a no, and Dan will express that
Well,
to the
they might can
petitioner.
explain it.
Understood.
Just more
And just call me in the
Yeah,
morning
just
and
more
we'll get
information.
to it.
Understood.
So do I need to make, what's the statement to understand that
This
this will be
sits until
Holds
next
April
everything.
meeting.
27th?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can move to the next item
Okay,
there.
so will someone please introduce 6C1?
I'll introduce and ask to be read by title only.
The discussion item May meeting falls on the observed holiday of Memorial Day, May
Yeah,
25th.
we just need you to make a motion to have the meeting on the 26th. So
Which is
we're,
Tuesday.
so we're compliant with the charter.
Motion to move the, what's the current date?
Regular meeting.
The regular meeting on Memorial Day, May 25th, to the following Tuesday, May 26th.
Yep.
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Connell?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Eastman?
Yes.
Mayor Berry?
Yes. 61, will someone please introduce?
I'll introduce an SB read by title only.
Resolution of the U.S. Highway 44127, Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Leesburg, Florida, authorizing the chairperson and secretary to execute a resolution approving fiscal year 2026 facade, sign, and landscape grant awards and providing an effective date.
Approval?
Second.
Yeah, this is the same issue that you hit before. Grant and I, during meetings, we kind of had a little bit of a sidebar. I'm under the impression that this is being applied equally to everybody throughout the county, so I'm going to ask you to approve it. If I find out different, I'll be back to you. So we had to do this in 3 capacities: the downtown CRA, the Carver Heights CRA, and the 44127 CRA. And because this body is the 44127 CRA board, you can do this as the city commission.
I just want to say it's a breath of fresh air that Southside Shopping Plaza's getting some long-standing issues resolved.
Oh, the Save-A-Lot?
The Save-A-Lot,
Okay, yes.
the dumpsters. I'll say it at my ending, but thank you, Diane, for all your hard work.
Yes. Roll call?
Commissioner Berry?
I'm a yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Eastman?
Yes.
Commissioner Connell?
Yes.
Mayor Berry?
Yes. Informational reports. No action for charters. Will the city attorney items?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I have no reports this evening. Thank you.
City manager?
Just 2 quick ones. First, my apologies there, because I think Commissioner Reisman just saw it messed up, and I did.
Yeah.
I was talking on that last item on the CRA. You guys were approving the FSL grant. I think y'all knew that. I was still talking about so, and that is, and actually, Commissioner Peterson's been on me forever about that. So just want to point that out. Next issue 2, and I don't want to belabor the Susan Street thing. It was in the packet, but you're getting that additional money from shifting money from overage in the Main Street project. So we were about $1.5 million over. So you're just shifting those DST monies that were fiscal year 25 monies, and you're shifting that into, that was part of the recommendation in the staff report. So you're not digging into your pocket for cash or future year special revenues to do that project. So I just wanted for the public's edification, really. And other than that, I don't have anything else.
And we are going to make best efforts to keep those remaining budgeted funds to improve downtown.
Or as the commission may deem appropriate.
I was talking to my fellow commissioners right there.
There might be a commissioner who has an idea where to spend some of that, but that's, we will take your
And let me
orders.
explain why I said that comment. The money's been, I'll be careful how I say this, not a criticism, but the downtown money has been, over the years, it was continually spent elsewhere, and the parking garage and other downtown improvements got kicked down the road, and luckily this commission came around and we finally got it done. So thank you.
Roll call?
Mr. Berry?
I thought I had something, but I can't think what it was. So it must not have been important. Sorry.
Commissioner Connell?
No, I guess not.
Commissioner Eastman?
I did talk to the city manager about this. One of the boards is expiring, and they just got going, and they're funding and things like that. So I asked the city manager if I could do this, if you guys would be okay. Before I make a motion, I would like to make a motion about extending the Leesburg and Bloom's term till our January 6th organizational meeting, just to give them a little more time. They're just now getting going, if you guys would be open to that. So, all right, so I'll make a motion to extend the Leesburg and Bloom appointees to the January 6th organizational meeting.
January 6, 27.
27.
The beautification
The
committee.
beautification, yeah.
And a second?
I second that.
It's been moved and properly second to, may we get a
Yes, ma'am.
roll call? Andy?
Let's see. Commissioner Beesman?
Yes.
Commissioner Connell?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Mayor Berry?
Yes.
Thank you. And a couple other things. Obviously, Leesburg Bike Fest will be happening soon, so hopefully everyone comes out for that. It'll be a great time. Again, I've said it a couple times. Thank you, Diane, and her team, and for all the hard work on the FSL grants. Regarding the parking project, if staff could maybe do like some PSA or door knocking with all the downtown businesses, just to let them know what's happening, when it's happening, the timeline, all of that stuff, so it doesn't catch any of the downtown businesses catch them off. And then I don't think we hear it enough, and I've heard it twice in the last week, and just talking to people around the community, I know we get a lot of negative, but I think it's also good to say the positive from different demographics, from young to senior citizens to young couples to people that are just moving here. City of Leesburg they think we're doing a great job, and to keep doing what we're doing. So with that, that's it for me.
Commissioner Peterson?
Nothing tonight.
Mayor Berry?
I just want to say thank you to the commission for your patience and continuing to strive to making Leesburg better, making suggestions while we work and meet here together, and listening to all the constituents as they come through. That's very important, and believe it or not, we are listening. And I just want to ask you all, thank you again for your patience with me as well. That's it for me.
Madam Mayor, I did think of what I wanted to say. When Mike Woods was here last meeting, he mentioned that there was grant money available for some type of a position that would work as like a professional staff with traffic light synchronization.
That's what I was referencing earlier.
It was that smart thing, right?
And that, I want us to follow up on that,
My understanding was that was in the future. You were talking about.
I don't know when it is,
But he did
we
not.
want to be on it,
he
because that's
did-
the only way we're going to move traffic.
Yeah, no, he did not.
27
It's actually, I talked to Al about that.
Cliff and I will get your report.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't give us a timeline. He just did say in
Yeah,
the future.
it was something, so I just want to.
Good call.
Wanted to follow up on that.
No further comment?
Motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Second.